Today I'm going to make corned beef and cabbage because St. Patrick's Day. Now, eagle-eyed among you might notice that I am not at all Irish, but corned beef and cabbage is a quintessentially American dish. Traditionally, the Irish in Ireland corned pork, and when they immigrated to the United States and ended up in the immigrant neighborhoods of New York City, they encountered immigrant Jewish butchers who, of course, were not about to corn pork, so they worked together and came up with corned beef. That's what I'm going to make today. It's a very simple dish. There are lots of ways to make it, I'm going to use a crock pot, and or you could do a Dutch oven, whatever works for you. So we have our corned beef, we have our cabbage. We're going to need some onions, so I'm just going to cut up some onions. Okay, into the crock pot. I'm going to put the onions on the bottom, and that'll lift the corned beef up off the bottom surface a little bit. This is a braise. We're going to cook it in liquid. Your corned beef will usually come with a little packet of spices. Okay. So you can open up and sprinkle that in. Okay, that's usually bay leaves, peppercorns, mustard seed, dill seed. I like to add a little more, so I got some more there. And then you want to put your other vegetables in. I've got carrots, okay, and baby potatoes. Okay. So I'm going to put those in. The cabbage I'm going to hold off till a little later. So this will cook down a little bit, and we don't want the cabbage to be too soft. So I'm going to hold off on that. And then we want to cover this with liquid, primarily the meat. I have some leftover beef stock, so I'm just going to put that in. You could put in a can of Guinness if you want. And then some water. If you don't have beef stock or you don't want to put beer in, you can just use water. That's fine. Okay. And that's it. That's the preparation. So I'm going to put this on low for 8 hours. And maybe about halfway through, I will, that's when I'll cut up the cabbage and put that in. So I'm going to cut up our cabbage and get that ready to put in the crock pot. Just peeling off these beat up outer leaves. I'll feed those to our rabbit. Generally about a half a cabbage is enough for the corned beef and cabbage, and so you can save that for something else. I'm just going to cut out the stem there and cut this into wedges. Our corned beef cabbage is finished. I did make one change. I decided to cook it on high instead of on low, so you may want to make that change too. We'll see how it came out. But other than that, it's basically just been sitting here all day, except for when I added the cabbage. And so let's get it and have a look. We're going to get some steam here. Okay, and there's our cabbage on top. And if we dig down, there is our meat. Very tender. Some of it you can see is just falling apart. So I'm just going to slice this across the grain. And like I said, you can see it's just fall apart tender. We'll put some of that in a bowl. Some potatoes, and cabbage, and carrots, and a little bit of broth. And there we have a nice corned beef and cabbage.